The Mysterious Affair at Styles, a famous book and detective book written by Agatha Christie. Christie was an English detective novelist and playwright. She wrote some 75 novels, including 66 detective novels and 14 short story collections. Christie is perhaps the world's most famous mystery writer and is one of the best selling novelists of all time. Her date of birth September 15, 1890, and the place of birth Torquay, date of death January 12, 1976. Let me introduce you with the characters of this story, Mysterious Affair at Styles. Lieutenant Hastings, the narrator, on sick leave from Western Front. Hercule Poirot, a famous Belgian detective displaced by the war to England. Hastings' old friend. Inspector Zapp, Scotland Yard. Emily, a wealthy old woman, mistress of styles. Alfred, Emily's much younger new husband, thought to be a spoiled fortune hunter. John Cavendish, Emily's elder stepson and remainder man to Styles. Mary Cavendish, John's ex wife. Lawrence Cavendish, John's younger brother. Evelyn Howard, Mrs. Inglethorpe's companion who had negative views about her marrying Alfred. Cynthia, beautiful and orphaned daughter of a friend of Emily. Dorcas, a maid. At Styles, Annie, maid. Other characters included in the story Dr. Borstein, a suspicious toxicologist and a smuggler, Mrs. Rex, farmer, Mr. Rex, husband of Mrs. Rex, Dr. Wilkins, local physician, Mr. Wells, lawyer, Nibs, pharmacist. Here comes the summary. Emily, the owner of the Essex Manor in Styles Court, was murdered. To investigate the murder, Hercule Poirot was brought to Styles by Arthur Hastings. The newspapers covered the news of the murder in detail. The journalists intruded the Cavendish's house with overwhelming enthusiasm to cover the mysterious affair at Styles. Inglethorpe was an elderly woman. She was described as a selfish woman in her own way. She was very generous, but she always wanted a return. She was married to Alfred, which was about 20 years younger than her. Through her first marriage, she was the stepmother of John and Lawrence Cavendish. She was poisoned with strychnine. Before being poisoned, Emily was heard arguing with the man in her studying room. She later ordered her maid Dorcas to turn on the fire. She wanted to eliminate John from her will, but later discovered that Alfred was having an affair with Evelyn Howard and burned the new version of it. The murder had worn a black beard similar to Alfred, who gained the most from her death. Dorcas, the maid, helped Poirot and Hastings by giving them a hint to look into the dressing box of John and Lawrence Cavendish, stepsons of late Emily Inglethorpe. When Poirot and Hastings searched for the green dress, they found a new black beard at the bottom of the chest. After taking to Dorcas, Poirot and Hastings found out that A similar beard was worn by Lawrence when he dressed up as the Shah of Persia on a particular dressed up night. They deduced that the beard was trimmed in the shape of Mr. Inglethorpe's beard. They realized that the affair was a deep one and was carried out by an intelligent person. Hastings was a good ally of Poirot, but Poirot needed another ally who would observe things for him. He thought that Miss Howard, Emily's companion, would be perfect for the job. Miss Howard believed that Mr. Inglethorpe was a criminal against her instinct. Poirot tried to convince her to work on her instinct and not blame Mr. Inglethorpe for the murder. From then on, Miss Howard becomes Poirot's ally. Hastings felt left out as he thought that Poirot and Miss Howard knew what they were talking about. Poirot pointed out that Hastings lacks instinct, whereas Miss Howard has both instinct and intelligence. Was upset because of this, so he decided that he would make his discoveries and not reveal them to Poirot and surprise Poirot later with the result. So, this is the story. I hope you enjoyed this story. Thank you.